Knicks have some major decisions to make as they have players such as Marcus Morris, Chuma Okeke, and Landry Shamet on partially guaranteed deals, all Exhibit 9 or Exhibit 10 contracts. And also, on top of that, they still need to add another center, something the Knicks want to do, something they've been working to try to get done, and we are going to break it all down. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Knicks Digest Livestream Edition, and we're going to jump right into it, I guess, because, well, one, Fume is done with our ads. Hit our quota. We're done with that, in case you guys were wondering why I was doing so many of those ads. But also, it's just time to talk some Knicks. I am so glad to be back. I tried to do one now nearly a month ago, but some stuff came up. Couldn't get it done. Y'all know how it goes. Sometimes just things come up in life. As I plug my computer in so it doesn't die minutes into this live stream. But we're good now. We're cooking. We are cooking with fuel, y'all. Yo, so the New York Knicks. Marcus Morris, Landry Shamet, Chuma Okeke, Exhibit 10 contracts for the team. What that means is essentially when you go out there and you sign that contract, you are now on the New York Knicks training camp roster. However, you are not guaranteed an actual roster spot, so they don't have to pay you in case they decide to waive you. The Knicks have one fully guaranteed roster spot available. Just one left. There's 14 in there. Will it be Marcus Morris? Will it be Landry Shamet? Will it be Chuma Okeke? Will it be a center to be named later? Let me tell y'all right now, it's not going to be Chuma, and I don't think it's going to be Shamet either. I am 95% positive Marcus Morris is going to get that roster spot, and the Knicks are going to roll with Precious Achiuwa as the team's backup center for at least the beginning of the season until he becomes trade eligible, and then sometime in January, the Knicks will move him for a more tried and true center. They'll move away from Julius playing that small ball 5 role because though Tibbs said he's open to doing it, he doesn't want to do it for extended periods of time. And what does that mean? It means that the New York Knicks are going to be going out there and getting someone who Tibbs likes. The Knicks have been building around Tibbs way more than one would have expected them to. But hey, man, that's just the way it goes. And we have a lot of comments in here. Yo, I won't lie, mournful Nets fan. What was your name earlier? I forget. You had a different name. But Nostalgic Nick, my guy. How are you, man? Nostalgic Nick, I kind of want to I just accidentally went to your channel. That's not what I'm trying to do. Salute Knicks Nation. What up, Hector? What up, Schnazzy? Steven Mancia. Nets gave up McHale for pennies. Such a poverty team. First part not true. Second part true. They are a poverty team. They could have gotten more for him if they traded him sooner to the Houston Rockets, but it is what it is. They still got a decent haul. They'll get a bunch of late picks from the Knicks. Maybe that 2031 one works out for them. Rest of them probably going to be late. Mournful Nets fan, I forget what your name was beforehand. He changed it, though. We will take care of your boy Landry in the sense that we'll use him in training camp, then waive him. He was nice. I think he'll be fine in the long run. It's funny to see these idiots thinking McHale is some superstar. So for anyone who doesn't know, Mournful Nets fan is just a fan of the channel who likes to hang out, make some fun troll comments. He knows McHale's not a superstar, and he knows that Knicks fans know he's not a superstar. He just likes to joke about the fact that Knicks gave a lot of first-round picks for him because that's what works for a team. However, I also don't like to let him hijack the stream and talk about the Nets the whole time, just because it is Knicks Digest. I like talking about the Nets and other basketball teams in general, but we're talking Knicks right now. The Knicks have one roster spot left to go, and you ask me, I think it's between either Marcus Morris, who is the favorite. I could also see JaVale McGee going out there and getting this final roster spot for the Knicks. JaVale is still a free agent. He's a veteran center. He's reminiscent of Mitchell Robinson in a few ways of play style. Very athletic lob catcher. I mean, obviously the athleticism's going. He's 36 years old now. But JaVale brings in a winning mentality, a vet, someone well-respected in locker rooms who his teammates like. And I think he's a very nice dark horse candidate for the Knicks to go out there and absolutely bring in someone. Oh, okay, Mournful Nets is welcome. Yeah, no. Me and Mournful Nets are cool. He likes to add some troll comments because understandably it's fun. I don't know if any of you guys have trolled on anything. Whenever I lose an NBA 2K or something and someone trash talks me, I just say the weirdest things to them. Sorry. And it's just I'll just say something absurd. Like, something that doesn't even make sense. Like, I'll ask them what their recipe for pancakes is or something. Like, just get weird with it. It's fun. You confuse people. You throw people off. So, no. No hate there to Mournful Nets fan. I'm a fan of him. But, no, we're not talking about any of that right now. We're talking about the Knicks. I want to know who you guys think is getting that final roster spot. They have one more guaranteed spot open. I'm pretty curious on what they're going to do here. So, I like the idea of Morris being back. I think he adds more depth with a big man. NBA 2K25 sucks. I actually like 2K25 a lot. I think the gameplay is realistic. I think it's tough for people to actually just do that cheese stuff where you go around and basically dance around and get to play 2K like you've never played basketball before. I think it's quite weird. Ja Morant. You know what, Matt? I agree. Guys, shout out to Matt Long, the man himself, my co-host on Jets Digest. Jets Digest is live, and you guys should watch because we have some fun over there. If you're not a Jets fan, maybe we'll make you one. But Matt, how we doing with the video? Me and Matt recorded a duo just prior to this. I'm sweating already, and we are just a few minutes into this. Luka or Ant getting MVP this season? I would guess that Luka is going to be the MVP. I'd say Luka. I don't think Edwards is good enough. I think he's good, don't get me wrong. But people are acting like Edwards didn't average 23 points per game. Now, I understand how well he played in the playoffs, and he's probably going to play like that version. I get that. I just think I do think Edwards is going to win an MVP in his career. I just think that people are going to give Luka a lifetime achievement MVP this early into his career for what he's achieved on a Mavericks team that has not been very good at putting talent around him. Yes, in recent times, they've been better at it, but still, I don't think it's something that's going to work out that much in the long haul. But I'm really curious to seeing what the Knicks get done, like, when it comes down to it. Can you put a thumbnail in before it's done uploading? Yes, you can. Do you think the team will be more physical this year? I think they'll just be more of everything. I think it just is going to be more of a Knicks team because when you look at this Knicks team, it's the same squad. You lost Hartenstein, which is unfortunate, but he's not irreplaceable. You need a backup center for Mitch. That's what you need. Hartenstein was more than that, and that was great that we had him. But it is what it is. Like, what are you going to do? You got options. You have a Nick Richards. You have Walker Kessler or Jalen Duren at like a 5% chance. You have someone like, what's his face? Who am I blanking on? Valanciunas, if that floats your boat, which I don't love the idea of. I don't think he could play defense at all, and I think it is just going to be kind of like this unfortunate situation where Valanciunas is just not going to pan out that long for the Wizards because he's going to get exposed as just a terrible defender. He is cheap, though. Outside of that, you could go into free agency. I am going to make a video on Skap Inistev obviously getting traded to the Celtics. I was going to do that today, and I ran out of time. I'm going to go to a Nets game in Brooklyn with a Knicks jersey and watch a poverty team lose to Detroit. I mean, if you go to a Nets game where they're hosting the Knicks, you're just going to a Knicks game. Like, it's just MSG Brooklyn. Like, that's what it is. Like, Knicks fans just always take that place over. It's just they're the better team, so it's fine. No, I'm not reading your comments because I don't want you to distract me. Like, I do this all the time. You know I do this because you're in all my live streams. Do you not have anything better to do, by the way? Dude, hi. By the way, respectfully, look forward to your lives. Just never catch them at work. Hey, man, it's fine. I try to do them at usually on a weekday. The best live stream we ever had was a Saturday, which was so unfortunate because I had such a hard out after an hour, 15 minutes. Like I had to go to like a family party. Like my cousin got engaged, all that. I had to go to an engagement party. So I was like, I have to dip. Like I have to leave. And it was killing me because we had like 200 people in here. It was an absolute banger. One time, I don't know when we're going to do this, but for our 21 plus or well, 16 plus, we're going to do Knicks Digest happy hour. But I'm trying to get Darielle on that with me, or I'm going to have Matt from Jets Digest host it with me because I don't want to do that one by myself. But we're going to do a bit of a happy hour. We'll sip on a drink. We'll talk some sports. We'll crack jokes. I'm going to have to set that duo up so we can get Matt on here so you guys can get introduced to our newest Digest media member. But look, we're all over the place right now, and the subscriber or the view count not doing great right now, but we got some people in here. Cheap tickets are cheaper in Brooklyn. The more I think about it, I probably should have done this at 7 p.m. But hey, we're already in here, so we're just going to keep going. Guys, who do you want to see get that final Knicks roster spot? Let me know. Sounds sick. Matt, it's going to be sick. what's your ideal starting five with the roster for the beginning of the season? I think the roster that makes by far the most sense. Now, I don't think Mitch will be playing the first 3 to 5 games of the year. I think he's still just going to be recovering and trying to get back into game shape. But let's just say Mitch is healthy. For the sake of the argument, we'll say Mitch is healthy. I would go Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, Julius, and Mitch. I just think they're the 5 best players on the team. Any way you look at it, I think they're the 5 best players. So, that being said, you have Jalen Brunson. You have a top 3 on-ball defender next to him. You have a top 2 on-ball defender at your small forward. You have Julius Randle, an all-NBA player. Cam Thomas is a way better offensive player. And you have Mitchell Robinson at the center, who's another elite defender. It gives the Knicks their best defense possible. It fits the Tibbs-oriented team of you got a scoring point guard who's also got good passing. You have a offensively based forward. You have 2, 3, and D guys who happen to be top 5 or arguably top 3 on-ball defenders in basketball. I think OG's probably the second best on-ball defender in basketball to Herb Jones. Honestly has an argument for the best on-ball defender. Mikal Bridges, there's a reason he was second in Defensive Player of the Year voting. He gives you exactly what the Knicks have been lacking, which was just more defense against guards, more shooting, more everything you want, more of the same Knicks vibe, energy type situation. Gets to play a role that he actually fits in. I think it's going to be perfect. It's going to be Suns Mikal, which is what the Knicks have needed. Great move by the Knicks. I love all this. I think DiVincenzo off the bench is also really fruitful because you get to let him shoot the ball more. And in a starting lineup that has OG and Julius and Brunson, there's just going to be less shots for Dante. And we've seen that Dante's in his best when he's shooting in volume. So I think having Dante shoot in volume off the bench is going to – maybe he'll take a bit of an efficiency dip. I don't know if he'll shoot as well from 3 as he did last year. But he will do a lot better, just, I think, with scoring the ball, with being a good 6th man. The Knicks need some more scoring off the bench, too, so I think DiVincenzo solves the scoring off the bench. He gives you more shooting. You got 2 40% three-point shooters in DiVincenzo, in Deuce McBride off the bench. Backup, I believe it's going to be Precious. I like Precious better than Jericho. I think Precious is a better player. However, when Mitch is not healthy, game 1, glad the Celtics got your guy Scap instead of, all right, James Lee. Cam Thomas is the best player on the Nets. Yeah, you guys are not very good, and you have a glorified 6th man as your best player. Sucks, but it is what it is. I mean, I've been there. So it's like, essentially, you look at this team, and you're like, okay, well, we just have to take this to where we know we need another backup center. We know we need more bigs. But right now, you're in a situation where if Mitch is not there, you have to start Jericho Sims because Precious and Julius don't make sense in a starting lineup. You're better off starting Julius at the 5 and running small ball and having Devo in the starting lineup or Josh Hart in the starting lineup anyway. I think even that makes more sense. It's just, if you're not going to start, if you're not going to start Jericho, I know the Knicks don't like Jericho at all. They have zero faith in him whatsoever. They want him to be a 3rd string, and that's just something that's going to have to be the case for a while. Speculation, but if we can do well without Mitch used as much until All-Star Weekend, Mitch fully healthy for the playoffs would be key. I actually agree. I have zero problem with Mitch getting a short full amount of time. Jay Bishman's in the chat. Let's go. Cam Thomas is not better than Jalen Brunson, obviously. Julius, Mitch, OG, Mikal, Dante, Josh. Cam Thomas is the 8th man on the Knicks, I guess. He's just a good scorer. No, Cam's a great scorer. Don't get me wrong. He's just not good at anything else at all. The Knicks should sign Tyson Chandler. Dude, Tyson Chandler's the man. I'm a big Tyson Chandler fan. But, yeah, I actually agree with Charlie Knicks here 100%. I don't see the point in rushing Mitch back at all. Let him take his time. If the Knicks struggle in the beginning of the season, oh, well. They have a tough start to the schedule. So, yeah, they'll be, They'll end up, being 6, 7, and 5. And people are like, oh, well, this Knicks team's not as good as we thought. And then they'll bounce back. So it's like, all right, well, at least Mournful Nets fan understands that Julius Randle's good, but he also doesn't understand that defense is, a part of basketball and that Cam Thomas might be the worst defender in basketball outside of Trae Young and D'Angelo Russell, but it's what it is. And I guess Isaiah Thomas, if you want to call him an NBA player. Joakim Noah. Dude, Joakim Noah recently talked about how he felt real bad about, his time with the Knicks because just, Jalen Brunson was average 2 years ago, and I didn't have a YouTube channel 2 years ago, and look at us now. Now I got 3. So, times change. Times change, but the sports stay great. The Nets do not. The Nets actually got really bad in 2 years, and the Knicks got good in 2 years. So I guess sports teams don't stay great, but sports stays great. Mitch will be in the deadline. Mitch is not getting traded, Nostalgic Nick. Absolutely not. Josh Hart's better for the Knicks, I should say. Mournful Nets fan. Cam Thomas is perfectly better for the Nets. I mean, they need someone to score the ball, so it makes sense. But in general, Samuel Dallenberg by my son Hugh. Long pause. Janus, because I know what you're trying to do. And it still does. It still sounds like I'm just saying the name fast. So it's like, great name. Great name, though. I love those jokes, and it's so childish, but I love it. But look, honestly, I look at this team, and I'm so thrilled. Sims and Diop for Nick Richards. I actually would prefer Precious for Nick Richards. Now, Sims and Diop does work financially also. The Knicks are giving out more money than they're taking in, which is key there. But it absolutely could be one of those things where, like, I think Precious for Nick Richards, 1-for-1 trade. Knicks throwing a second-round pick. Everyone's happy. Hornets get a player who's got a lot more potential, technically. Oh, it's Days Animations. What up, kid? Literal kid. 11 years old or whatever. Fans, it's Mitch playing 28 to 30 minutes and Huck Porty 18 to 20 minutes. Wake up, we're not playing 20 minutes small ball. Well, I'll tell you one thing. Mitch is not playing 28 to 30 minutes while Huck Porty plays 20 minutes. That's 50 minutes of center play. That's not happening. Also, Huck Porty is on a two-way contract. The most he can play is 45 NBA games anyway. It's not like it's going to be something that actually happens. I understand people like Huck Porty because he's a rookie and all that, and yay, we finally have rookies again. It's been a while. Huck Porty's not playing. He's not playing. I promise you he's not playing. He'll be in the G League. Nick should keep Precious. He's a good backup if Randall misses games. I actually agree with you. I just think that he's the most tradable one on that 1 year, $6 million contract. Just gives teams so much control over what they want to do with him that I think it just makes perfect sense. So I do think Precious gets moved. I think he's the one to get moved. Do you think they'll get a center this month? They might sign someone on a non-guaranteed deal. Why would the Knicks ever trade for Claxton? Claxton makes $20+ million. The Knicks don't have that money to trade. You don't have a backup center. You're just going to have to use that Jonathan Sams, dude. That was good. That was good. No, they're going to use Precious as the backup. He's not really a center either. They're just waiting. They're holding out because they don't want to trade for a center, see an issue occur, and be like, oh, no, this is a problem. The entire been a mess since the Bridges. Why? They just lost Hartenstein. People are overrating the loss of Isaiah Hartenstein. They are. I'm sorry, but they are. I get Hartenstein's a good player. Randall for Claxton was actually never discussed, James Lee. I don't know who your source is, but I promise you they're dead wrong. Randall has never been discussed in any trades over the summer. He's someone who just hasn't been willing to extend a contract, but it doesn't mean that he doesn't want to play for the Knicks. He wants to. The Knicks want him there. They're just waiting on the season to figure out this whole song and dance with the payment thing. McBride was on a two-way last year. How many games did he end up with? That's actually not true at all. McBride was not on a two-way contract last year. McBride's actually never been on a two-way contract for the Knicks. Throughout his entire career, Deuce McBride has not once been a two-way player. That's just false. Deuce McBride was drafted and spent most of his time in the G League. He was not a two-way player. Like that, like not to go in or something, but like he just wasn't. That's not true. And none of this is making sense. It's making sense. Oh, it's Knicks 100 a game. It's been a minute, man. How are you? It was from a Nets Twitter page. Yeah, that person lied. People lie on Twitter. That's what happens. They lie. Check my last when you can, Charlie Nixon. Deuce over Kolick and Cam as a backup guard. I agree 100%. Another little thingy-majig. Another comment. I love the comments, guys. Keep them coming. Honestly, I would trade both before I let go of such a cheap contract and a player whose potential is great. Yeah, I like Deuce better than most of them because Deuce is an elite on-ball defender already, and also he shoots 40+ from three. Deuce is the one who's going to affect winning the most in the now. The Knicks are contending, and that means that they are going to work hard to do whatever it can to win games now. That being said, they're not going to trade Tyler Kolick because they love him. They think Kolick has way more potential than either Deuce or Cam Payne. Obviously Cam Payne, but like they do think – I don't think they're trading Deuce either. I'd be very shocked if the Knicks traded Deuce. But I think they view Deuce as more of a 2-guard, which is why they're also interested in Kolek. But when you have one of the best point guards in basketball, it's okay.
Someone cooked here.
Yeah, the Brunson burner, man. You got the dog here. Hartenstein used to tuck you into bed, Matt, and you miss him. I actually remember that as someone who lived with you for 3 years of your life. I remember he used to come over. How many games does it take for the Knicks to sign Taj? Taj Gibson is on the Charlotte Hornets, man. He signed a minimum deal with the Hornets because Taj Gibson is a good veteran to have. Now, I think the Hornets will waive him and the Knicks will end up with him again probably at some point, or they would have signed him already. But no, Taj is unavailable, dude. He's on the Hornets, and good for Taj. We can last until deadline without a center. I agree 100%. I just don't think there's any need to rush. I just don't feel a need to rush. Figure out what kind of center your team needs. Like, let the year play out a bit. Figure out what is happening with this team. Who's good? Who's a liability? What is a team strength? What is a team weakness? What's a weakness that you really need to patch up, and then you figure it out? I think that's what makes the most sense. Hot take, McBride is untouchable. Yes, he's not, but he's probably not getting traded either, if that makes sense. His defense and shooting is insane. Oh, my God, it's beautiful. No, Deuce McBride is awesome for this team, and I don't see him getting moved at all. He could if the Knicks had to in some weird situation, but they'd be trading for someone real good. And by real good, I mean like Walker Kessler. Like, they maybe would bend on Deuce, but then they wouldn't be giving, like, Precious and 2 firsts, which I could see them doing. Like, the two, the Pistons and the Wizards first, both of which are, protected picks and are probably going to convey into second rounders anyway. So the Jazz know that. They might not want that. They might ask for Deuce. The Knicks need Charlie Brown. Are you who I? That might be one of my homies. Not because you're the only person I know who would say that. I don't think you guys can beat the Sixers now. Honestly, I just don't like the Paul George move. I just don't think it's going to work out. He's not healthy enough. He's not the same defender he once was. He's not going to be willing to stand in the corner and shoot threes. He's not just going to go full Peter Griffin corner 3. Many people think the Knicks aren't contenders because they don't have the manpower. Brunson had 4 straight 40-point games in the playoffs, and they were missing an all-NBA player and were a game away from the conference finals, so I personally disagree. Does Randall get low-key lazy on defense with the vastly improved defenders around him? Don't expect him to play as hard as iHeart, but there's got to be Randall can't slack below, or a line that Randall can't slack below. He always will take defensive plays off, so I don't think that's going to change, honestly. Like, yes, it's annoying that Randall will sometimes take defensive plays off. He's also one of the most dynamic offensive players in basketball. He puts up 20, 10, and 5. The only other guys who do that are Giannis and Jokic. So I hate to say you live with it, but you kind of live with it because it doesn't really hurt them as much as it might with other teams because of the defense. Joshua, hot take, all that. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, McBride played in the G League for the first year and a half, more than half a year and a half with us. But it doesn't matter. He wasn't on a 2-way contract. He couldn't only play 45 games. Ariel Hukporty's only allowed 45 games, and that doesn't count playoffs. He's not going to play. Hukporty's not going to get minutes, dude. Like, I understand the like for him, and I honestly like his game a lot also. James, don't made moves to Knicks Digest, too. I don't appreciate your caps. I hope I know James. I think James Lee's probably mournful Nets fans' friend. I like that you guys are 2 of the 4 Nets fans out there. And I know the other one. So, Taj was washed. It's Hukporty, the guy. This guy is just underestimating him. He played 4 years as a pro. They will give him a full roster. If they were to give Ariel Hukporty a full roster spot, they would have did it by now. They wouldn't have drafted him, signed him to a 2-way, and then been like a month later before the season started, roster. No, it's not going to happen. Maybe he plays well in the G League and they give him a chance, and then he plays well in the NBA and they give him a contract. I'm not saying it's impossible. I just don't think Ariel Hukporty is going to be the backup center in his rookie year. It's the 58th overall pick for a team trying to win the championship. I feel like the Nets are washed is not a right way to put it, though. Knicks 100 a game, just because the Nets are doing everything right. They're getting draft picks back. what's his face? Sean Marks is very good at rebuilding teams. He's not good with contending teams, if that makes sense. Like, he's an excellent rebuild type guy. Small step back to become a dynasty is where the Nets are set up. I mean, I disagree, but the wishful thinking is nice. I always had that with the Knicks, and eventually they became Willie Hernan-Gomez. Yes, I shouldn't have yelled. I'm sorry. That might have hurt if you're wearing headphones. But dude, Willie Hernan-Gomez. I'm not even kidding you. 3 weeks ago, maybe a month ago, I had come home from my girlfriend's one morning, and I was not feeling the best, man. It was a long night out before the night. I was out late, and it was just a whole thing, and I was tired, and I went to go to a Nathan's hot dog stand to get some cheese fries, and I'm standing across the street from the cheese fry place, which, mind you, is across the street from MSG, and Willie Hernan-Gomez is just standing there. Dude, mind you, I'm 6'4". I'm a big person. But, like, I'm looking at him like, one, that's Willie Hernan-Gomez. Two, Willie Hernan-Gomez is not 6'10". He is, like, 6'8". Like, Willie Hernan-Gomez was not a world taller than me. What's my girl's name? I am not telling you that at all. Absolutely not. You can know my name. My name's right here, Chris Gallagher. Not sharing my personal information. I'm not sharing my friends' names. There is no story. Bro made up a fake girlfriend. Oh, my roommate foiled me. Yep, that's true. That's true. But yeah, no. All that great stuff. I agree, Matt. All right, I know who you are, Hugh Janus, I think. I have a good feeling. I have a very good feeling. Matt, I think you know Hugh Janus also. Just fully sounds like I'm saying it. Great name. Well, you made it up then. Your girl name. Did you do it with it? You guys are disgusting freaks. You guys are y'all are insane. His girlfriend's name is Shaniqua. Facts. Yep. Yeah, no, my girlfriend's name is actually it's actually Jalen Brunson. It's Jalen Brunson. I'm telling you, my girlfriend is It's a cardboard cutout of Jalen Brunson that I rent an apartment out to, so I could say I'm going to my girlfriend's. That's what it is. True story. I draw lipstick and a wig on it, and then Jalen Brunson takes my breath away. You guys are absolute freaks. He said, "Don't do it." This is the funniest live stream. What is no Diddy? Well, there's no more Diddy now. I'll tell you that much. He's done for. Unlike the Knicks, who are not done for, we're going to turn around. How beautiful is Brunson's amazing footwork? Charlie Knicks, thank you so much. Mournful Nets fan, I'm about to put you in a timeout, dude. I'm gonna put you in a timeout. You're gonna be put in a timeout. You're in a 1 minute timeout, dude. Yeah, dude, Brunson's footwork is absolutely phenomenal. I just think he's actually just got another level to grow. But I do think he's going to get less views. Man, Brunson is not going to appreciate that. He knows it's a joke. He's in his 20s. We're not that far apart in age. I think Jalen Brunson will be like, all right, well, this dude's an absolute lunatic. Dude, I can't believe I one time said that Jalen Brunson is playing badly, and it was right behind his mom and his uncle. I felt so bad. I think it's either MP Matt or it's my homie JB. Mournful Nets fan can only oh my lord. No, I think that Brunson is going to average less points than he did this season, though. I don't think he's going to be top 5 in scoring just with the way the team is going. Like, I think there's just going to be too much of the ball to go around that everyone's going to have their points per game take a dip. Though shout out to Charlie Knicks for bringing this back on track, because we desperately needed that for a bit because we were going off the rails, which honestly was kind of fun. I'm not going to sit here and lie. Jalen Brunson's mom was so cool. His uncle was cool. His family was so awesome. Like, They were such nice people. I felt so bad that I said he was playing badly. And this was the game against the Bulls, the 82nd game of the season where he had 40 points. He just started like 2 for 7. I was like, oh, Brunson's having a worse game than usual. And his uncle turned around. He's like, he's going to have 40. Watch. Luckily, I do Knicks Digest, so I know how to spit out Jalen Brunson's stat lines because that's what's occupying this old brain up here. So you look at things and you just pull something up, and then I said that. And, yeah, well, you were probably harassing her, James Lee. You're a Nets fan. But, yeah, I felt I felt really bad about saying that because this was it was just not cool, like, to accidentally, like, hate on their kid. You think so? What will he average in your opinion? I'd say he puts up around 26 points per game. I just think he's not going to shoot as much. He'll probably average more assists. I think it's going to be a very team-oriented style. Also, very quickly, sorry to Jalen Brunson and his entire family for not only saying he was playing badly, but also just saying, like, all the cardboard cutout stuff. Obviously, that's a joke. I'm pretty sure Brunson's aware of that. If you watch the Roommates podcast, he does not seem like someone who would care. I think if I said that about some NBA players, they certainly would care. Like, if I said that about, like, I don't know, who's a responsible, like, player on the Knicks or something like that. If I said that about, like, Mitchell Robinson, Mitch would not like that. And Mitch, I don't know if he's the most responsible guy, but I don't think Mitch would appreciate me saying that all about him. So I wouldn't. I think Brunson would be like, oh, this dude's just cracking jokes right now. Like, it is what it is. He's talking with the homies online. So you think it's less points but more assists and better efficiency? Yes. I think he's going to take less shots. I honestly just think Brunson's going to take less shots, and he's going to score less because of it. Like, if you ask me, that's what would make sense, is if Brunson's just, like, shooting less, so he's scoring less. No, I don't disagree that you don't blame me for having a crush on Brunson. Thank you. But I don't disagree with Charlie Knicks, where Brunson will have his time and drop 40-point games. I just think he's not going to average as many points. He's not going to have to be dropping 30 every game. I don't think he's going to be because, one, he's probably going to coast to a degree, as most stars do at time to time. But it's also just going to be one of those situations where you have different guys like Julius, like Mikhail, who can each go for 30 points when you need it to happen. Got a lights-out shooter like Dante who can quickly change the complexion of a game and take over. You have enough players on this Knicks team where Brunson just doesn't need to score 30 points per game. He doesn't have to. He'll score 40 points a few times. He'll probably have a few 50-point games. I just don't think it's going to happen as consistently because he won't need to, but he'll be more efficient in the process. He is Jalen Brunson. He is a cardboard cutout of me also. Imagine that was just true. Like Jalen Brunson, just a massive Knicks Digest fan. I bet Chris will cheat on Brunson with Mikhail. You know what? I like this version of Mournful Nets fan better when we're just friends, like cracking jokes instead of arguing. And I do like when we argue about the Knicks and Nets. Don't get me wrong. It is fun. Mournful Nets fan, and you can just say no comment or something if you don't want to answer this question. Do you live in Brooklyn? Like, is that why you're a Nets fan? Now I'm curious. See, now I'm curious. Games to watch have to be Mavs and Knicks this season and Celtics. Yeah, I think biggest games to watch. First game that the Knicks play against the 76ers at home. The Knicks won that series on the road in Game 6. It'll be the first time Embiid comes back to MSG after the Knicks bounced them in round 1. I think that's going to be a huge game. Sixers are going to be crazy motivated to beat the Knicks in MSG on their floor because the last time the Sixers played on the MSG floor, they beat the Knicks. And it was because Tyrese Maxey went nuclear. Exactly. Brunson will average less points because the team is so complete. You don't live in Brooklyn. Word. Now I'm just curious how you became a Nets fan. Stop waving you PhD player hater degree, Matt. Brunson doesn't know about your channel, lil bro. For anyone wondering, Matt is, in case you guys missed it, Matt's my co-host on Jets Digest, so he's playing. And also, yeah, he definitely doesn't know this, but why would he? It'd be weirder if Brunson did watch Knicks Digest, honestly. But yeah, definitely looking forward to some of these games this year. I'm going to have to pop out some Knicks games. They're fun. Unfortunately, they're super expensive. Nets couldn't keep how many superstars? Yeah, L. But, like, look, I'm very excited for some games this season. I think it'll be cool to see how the Knicks do in the in-season tournament. Do I care about the in-season tournament? Not that much. But I will say the NBA did it to create more interest in, like, the day-to-day basis. And they absolutely did that. They did that so successfully. Like, I care more about those games. I don't know why, but I do. Like, I want the Knicks to win the in-season tournament. Am I going to care when they lose? No. Do I care when the Knicks get eliminated from the playoffs? Absolutely. The video Darielle and I did after the Knicks got eliminated, I was wearing a Yankees jersey because I was like, I'm ready for summer. I'm ready for baseball. I don't even really like baseball that much, which I probably shouldn't say because I host Yankees Digest, but I don't like that sport that much. It's fun. It's all right. Okeke has great footwork in the paint for a big man, but this dude knows nothing about him. Why he was a second-round pick coming off a previous year with a torn ACL. It was a ruptured Achilles, actually, and he was supposed to be a first-round pick. I do know about Ariel Okeke. I'm telling you, I also know how the Knicks work. They're not going to go out there and play the last pick in the draft off rip. He's going to have to earn it. If KD and Kyrie went to the Knicks, it would have failed even worse. I think it would have just failed similarly, honestly. Just don't think it would have worked. No doubt about it. Maybe even worse. Maybe you're not wrong, considering the Nets had actual role players on that team. And, well, the Knicks had Damian Dotson and a rookie Mitchell Robinson. So you're not incorrect. Yeah, mournful Nets fan. Once the Nets are good again, it'll be worth it. Wait, 2 Nets fans in one sitting? I know, it's a world record. No wonder I feel itchy. I'd never go to a Knicks game when I can go to a Nets game. Well, I won't lie. You'll be saving money. I actually do. I like to make fun of Barclays because they shouldn't have painted the walls black because it's weirdly dark in there to a point where it's like, why? But Barclays is cool. Fun place, fun arena, fun vibes. More modern than MSG for sure. It's kind of like Citi Field and Yankee Stadium. One of them has the team that more people care about, but the other one's more modern and cool. That's the best way to do that, or I think that's the best way to talk about that and kind of break that situation down. But yeah, guys, all right, give me your Knicks hot take. We're going to stay on until around 7. Just, it's been a while since I've done this, and I've been making videos left and right. I don't know how long I can keep going. Brunson is attractive. Look, I think that I really want the Knicks to win, man. I want them. Don't get me wrong. Just stop by to say go Sixers. Yeah, I mean the Sixers are good this year. I think they're gonna have the second best record in the Eastern Conference. First is gonna be probably Boston again. Maybe not with Porzingis. Maybe the Sixers have the best record in the East this year. I don't think they're gonna go that far. Chris, how tall is your girlfriend? She's 9'6". True story. I'm dating the tallest woman in history. It's a mile away from your home. That's how tall am I? I'm 6'4", and a little bit over that, to where I would tell girls in college parties that I was 6'5", and they just believe me. Mournful Mournful has so many questions. Hot take: OG plays 65 plus games. Cold take: OG does not play 65 plus games. I'll go with 57. I think he'll have a decently healthy season. I think he'll be there, but OG. That's the one thing that I don't love that the Knicks did. They paid him so much money because he forced their hand. I was kind of bummed out that he asked for that. Stand up. You're not going to see my head. You're just going to see my torso and lower half area to not get demonetized. Why'd you go to parties? Boredom, I guess. Hanging out with my friends is fun. Matt, why did we go to parties at college? Why was the reason? Why were we hitting up Birmingham Street or Avenue, whatever it was? Look how much information how low information James is like most. He's trying to get Chris to bunk with the diddler. Dude, he's trying to get me to show my shorts on camera. Like, I'm not standing up. If you guys see my legs on a YouTube video, it ruins the whole experience. No one wants to see my legs. I'm an upper half screen. It's like I'm sitting behind a desk because, well, my computer is on a desk right now, so I am. I have never gone to parties in college. Berm Street. I'm not sure. Matt doesn't know I went to parties. You got to ask him. What up, Andy Katz? How we doing, bro? Andy Katz, give me your hot take. Just join the chat. Hot Knicks take right now. What would you talk about with girls? Usually you, honestly. Chris, do 10 sit-ups and I will donate. You're not going to be able to see me do 10 sit-ups. I could do 10 ugly push-ups because I'm in bad shape. I'll take my socks off if I'm going to do that, though, just because I'm going to slip and break my nose on camera. Mournful, can I do 10 push-ups instead? Yeah, facts. As Matt would say, step 1, be tall. But sit-ups, I have no angle to show you guys that I'm doing it. But no, I absolutely would do 10 push-ups if you donate. Even if you donate, like, the smallest amount, I think it'd be cool. And then I'll give you a super chat. I'll hammer out one of these for you. But, yeah, Hugh Janus is signing off. Good to see you. You know who that is, Matt? You know who Hugh is? Jets win set. Oh! I knew it. I knew it. I absolutely knew it, dude. From the bottom of my heart, I knew it. Yeah, I know push-ups is easy. I could do sit-ups. I just can't show the angle. It doesn't work. Hugh is one of my good friends from home, in case anyone was wondering. I wish I would have told him to get on 2K after this, but I don't know. I agree with that. They start camp with Vet Sims as backup and Huck Porty as backup by last preseason game. I don't think it's going to be that fast for Huck Porty. I don't think they're going to give him enough minutes for him to prove that. I'm not saying that Huck Porty's bad. I'm saying I don't think he is going to get the chance. Look at Tibbs. Is Hugh Dariel? No. Dariel would not be wilding like that in the comments. He would say some funny stuff, but not like that. For the Knicks, I will go Capella, but you're going to have to get him in a buyout because he makes too much money. Then Stewart, I think he fits the Knicks vibes well, but I don't know how you would trade for that. And Valanciunas, you got to, I'd say third, just because I don't like his defense, but he is a good rebounder. Tell us more about these chicks at parties. Wow. I don't know. It was a while ago. I haven't been in college for a bit. Did I listen to the new episode of Talk Tua? Yeah, obviously. If you guys are wondering who my girlfriend is, it's the Hawk Tua girl. That's who I've been dating this whole time. What's her name? Welch something? Haley Welch. That's who I've been dating. I love Talk Tua. My dream is to be on Talk Tua. Like, that's my dream in life. Talk to a girl who has an unbelievable Deep South accent that I think is, it's probably not fake, but it literally sounds like you made a cartoon about, like, some Deep Southern person. Huck Porty will be a fan favorite this preseason. Well, Nick Yak, I'm starting to, one, think you are Ariel Huck Porty, which would, one, be awesome. But, two, like, I'm not trying to hate on Huck Porty. I'm just saying I don't. Yeah, I actually am 6'4". Do you know who DJ is? I have some guesses. But Huck Porty, yeah, I think he'll be a Matt. Who is it? Give me the initials, because you definitely know. I have like three. I knew it. Yeah, I was like 95%. The second I saw Talk To, I was like, that's the DC. I don't know where the AC is. And by DC, we mean UFC Hall of Famer Daniel Cormier. He's one of our good friends. But yeah, Huck Porty, I just don't think he's going to get the minutes to do so. I think the center, Huck Porty's best chance is to show out early, though. So, I mean, look at it quickly. Like, to add to your point, Nick Yak, looking at Huck Porty, Emmanuel Quickly now obviously was a first-round pick. So, you have to go out there and prove something. But Quickly was on the roster. Huck Porty's not going to get a ton of minutes off rip. Now, Mitch, I don't think is going to play in preseason. Huge advantage to Ariel Huck Porty. The Knicks don't like Jericho Sims that much. Huge advantage to Ariel Huck Porty. I think Huck Porty will get actual minutes. I think people are going to love when he goes out there. It's just what he can prove. Maybe that's why they haven't used that 15th roster spot. Is they want to see if they can do something internal first. So maybe Huck Porty will work that out. His biggest chance is preseason until he's going to have to wait till like next year. Brandon Tong, yes, I am 6'4". What games do I have on PS5? I have 2K25, GTA. No, Dariel's not in the chat right now. He's at work. James, Dariel lives in LA, so he is at work right now because it is 6:45. So over there it is 3:45. So Dariel's working for another hour 15. Do you know who Matt Long is? His initials are ML. I know milliliters. Yeah, I actually lived with him. But so Nick Yak, the way they can get Clint Capella, because I mean I just want to keep this somewhat about the Knicks guys. The best way to keep Capella is, or the best way to land Capella is he's going to have to get traded to another team. Like, let's pick a team like the Nets, like a team that's rebuilding. Obviously, they don't want Clint Capella. I don't have Fall Guys or Spider-Man 2. I have Fall Guys, it's just not downloaded. So, let's say the Nets, They want to move someone who's making a good amount of money, and the Hawks are willing to take him on. Like maybe like a Cam Johnson or someone. They could get Capella and a protected first for him. And then they're like, we have no need for Clint Capella. Why would we want him? We have a center that's one better than him in Nick Claxton. And also we're a rebuilding team. Clint Capella has no point here. Let's buy him out of his contract. That is when the Knicks go for the buyout market, and you can sign Clint Capella to a minimum deal for the rest of the season. I think that would be the best case scenario for the Knicks is you go out there and get Capella to back up Mitch. They're effectively the same player, just Mitch is better at defense, better at offensive rebounds, just better than Clint Capella. But Capella's a solid player. When the Knicks lost to the Hawks, I worked for a website called Daily Knicks. I wrote some articles there. And one of them I wrote was how the reason the Knicks were losing is because Clint Capella, that pick and roll was not going to work as well if Mitch was there. And the reason is because Mitch was able to stop, he would have been able to stop lobs in a way that Taj and Nerlens couldn't. He would have just guarded the pick and roll better, that Trey wasn't either going to get an open floater every time, be able to throw a lob to Capella, or be able to kick it out to the corner, which is what they did every single time. The Knicks didn't have Mitchell Robinson, that athletic guy, to close that gap to stop the Hawks from just running that every single time, thus meaning the Hawks won the series and then beat Philly also under the same thing because, well, Ben Simmons forgot how to play basketball. But, guys, apparently Ben Simmons is back, according to Chris Brickley. Are we believing it? In go-round number 5 for Ben Simmons, is he finally back? Mournful Nets fan, what's up? How we doing with Ben? Ben Simmons. How do we land LeBron? I'll handle that. I'll handle it. I'll get him to the Knicks. I'll handle it. I'll turn on trade override. I got that. Knicks fans have little to no idea who Huck Porty is. Our only other center bigger than 6'9". This dude will play. I don't think he is getting minutes. He is a two-way guy. He is going to have to prove it. He is really going to have to go out there and prove something, and he's not going to have the biggest window to do so. I'm not confident that Huck Porty's going to get minutes. I just have no confidence in it. I don't see why it would happen. I hope it does. I do. I'd like to see Huck Porty get minutes. I like Ariel Huck Porty. I think he's got good potential in the NBA. I think guys who fall due to injury concerns usually work out for the better. He is not being mentioned. Why is it a problem area? It doesn't make sense. Because he's the last pick in the draft. That's why he's not getting mentioned. No one talks about the last pick in the draft. The last pick in the draft people can name is Isaiah Thomas. You don't get too many guys who are the last pick and work out at all. So it's one of those things. It's just tough to do. But guys, let's go. Let's get wild in here. Let's get some comments. Do you know who Matt Long is? Yeah, I know that. Let's see. Did I miss anything? God, this got out of control. But yeah, guys. Interesting live stream. We're going to do another one soon where we actually talk more about the Knicks and not just about the most random things ever. But some of y'all hijacked this, and it was pretty fun. I'm not going to lie, because I've been sitting in this chair recording for a while now, so it feels kind of good to kick back with y'all. Anyone here an Andrew Tate fan? Nah, still laughing, bro. Landry. Bro said Landry is a bucket. Landry's not getting this contract with the Knicks. It's not happening. Landry Shamet is going to get cut from the team. He's going to be a free agent. Ben, if he wants to play, is better than Randall. No, he's not. He's just not. He used to be, but he's not. Randall's 25, 5, 10 player. Ben's not any of that. We're not getting Capella, who Mitch destroyed since a rookie. No, absolutely. I mean, the only way to get him is a buyout, is what I'm saying. I don't think the Knicks are going to get him. I just think it works out. That's why I was saying Mitch was able to destroy Capella from day one. The Knicks would have done much better in that series against the Hawks had Mitch been healthy. It's one of those times when Mitch's injury really, really messed up the Knicks. I don't know if the Knicks would have won because Randall played very poorly and no one played well, honestly, outside of Derrick Rose. So I don't know how well the Knicks would have really fared, but it definitely was hurt a lot. Do you know that Dante and Josh Hart had real beef in college? What's the story there, Andy Katz? Break it down. Knicks wins prediction 53. They're going to go 53-29. All right. Is that right? 53-29? 82 games? Yes. Chris likes marshmallows. I actually don't like marshmallows. I don't really like sugar at all.
I know what you're doing there, don't get me wrong, but just to give you a real answer, I don't really like marshmallows at all. Or just candy, really. I'm not a big candy guy. Hawks out rebounded by an average of 10 games. Nerlens Noel, yeah. We would have done way better if we had Mitch there, but Nerlens Noel, who was not good, went out there and did nothing for us. I really did not like Nerlens on this team one bit. I was not a fan of him. I thought he could not catch a basketball. I was really, really bummed by Nerlens Noel. I didn't think the extension was a good idea. They obviously had to move him and trade Jalen Duren in the process to just get out of that Nerlens contract. It was just a bad, bad look. Random thought ever since my timeline filled with WNBA posts. What? What's your random thought? You didn't say anything. You just said random thought since your timeline is filled with that. You guys got... Oh, no. Northern Nets fan, don't get me wrong. The Hawks absolutely murdered us. I'm not saying otherwise. I'm saying the biggest reason for that was the lack of Mitchell Robinson. Not having him just absolutely murdered the Knicks. Not watched a second of those games. Yeah, I can't say that I've tuned into a WNBA game this season, which sucks because the Liberty are good, and I'll watch them in the playoffs. I've thought about going to a game, but it's like I live in Manhattan. If I lived in Brooklyn, I'd go to Barclays more, but I don't. I live in Manhattan, so I'm not really going to do that. Chris, the type of dude to drink tea. Oh, yeah, dude. Tea is the best. I love tea, guys. Big tea guy. Tea for testosterone. Free Andrew Tate. Oh, okay. I got you. It's the Andrew Tate thing. I honestly thought for so long Andrew Tate was just playing a character. Like, I didn't even believe this. I was like, oh, no, he's just out here. This guy can't be serious. It felt like such a comedy, like something that the dude was just making up. The greatest thing ever is that guy who looks like Andrew Tate and then does those, like, sassy dances. That is the funniest thing to me. And it's so stupid, but someone who looks just like him and just does those dances. Nick Yak, can I ask you an honest question? And I'm not trying to hate because I actually loved the Ariel Hukporti pick. Are you Ariel Hukporti? Like, I'm starting to think you are because I've never seen someone ride so hard for him. And this is not the first time you've done that, which is why I ask. And I'm not trying to hate. Again, I'm a massive Ariel Hukporti fan. Like, I liked the draft pick. I thought it was doing the right thing. You took a guy who probably should have been picked before 58th. Only concern was injuries, and you're waiting on injury concerns that long into the second round where you're making a coin flip where most players are going to be out of the league in 4 or 5 years. I think it was a genius idea to pick Hukporti, but I'm starting to think that you are Ariel Hukporti, which would be kind of cool. Mournful Nets fan, that's not true. I don't eat meat. It's all downhill from here. All right, we got probably a few minutes left. We'll go to like 7:15. We'll keep it going for a bit longer, and then I'm going to have to stand up and stretch or something because, guys, it has just been so long. Mournful Nets fan, how are you donating? What do you need from me? What do you need from me for you to donate to the channel? Bro had a voice change. Oh, no, I just have the microphone close up to my mouth right now because the echo like in my ear sounds really good, dude. It's so stupid. Now it's going to sound different again. Dude, because I speak, I have a video voice, and then I have, like, my normal voice. Like, right now, I'm just speaking how I speak in real life. But then when I make Knicks videos, I make the octave higher, and I talk like this throughout all my videos. And it's just kind of a big change, because I don't really want my normal voice to be the voice and the facial expressions that I make in YouTube videos, because this voice sounds more clear, sounds more concise. You're bad. Nah, not the China. Is Jimmy Buckets getting traded? I don't think so. I don't think Jimmy Butler's getting traded, honestly, Jay Bishman. I think they're just going to salute Darlene. I think that when you're looking at Jimmy Butler and the team, I think the Heat are going to be good enough to where they're going to hold out until next season. And Matt... Y'all are cracking me up today. This is a good stream. This is fun. This one's a fun one. Just a fun stream.
not productive. Not really talked about the Knicks at all. I'm trying to keep it about the Knicks as much as I can. Like, I do like talking Knicks with y'all. Guys, look, so here's the deal. I think that the Knicks are going to the conference finals this year. Maybe even the finals. I think the Celtics are going to have a dud. I think they're just going to not have it. I think they're going to have championship hangover. I don't know if Porzingis is going to be the same after playing on that knee injury. I really have a feeling the Celtics are not going to go back to the NBA Finals. I think that opens up such a pathway for the Knicks. So, yeah, I'm actually pretty excited about that. Whenever the Heat make the finals, they never win. This is a make fun of Chris. You're right, dude. I'm coming to my own stream, and I'm just getting absolutely roasted in here. Well, if I don't make it sports related, people are gonna leave, and rightfully so. We got a strong 26 right now. We're usually in the 50s. So like, this is what happens when it goes off track. Like, actually, that's not true. Sometimes we do hang around the 30s too a bit. It's because I did this earlier than usual. Celtics are not repeating. They are not hangover to the max on that championship. Jason Tatum's "We did it" was absolutely brutal to listen to. That team was so boring. I just don't think they're going to win. If you guys are lucky enough, you can make it to the ECF, but that's it. I just don't think it's going to be the Celtics, though, and that makes you think who else is going to win. Like, I don't trust the Sixers to be healthy. The Magic would need to take a huge leap, and by the Magic, I mean Franz Wagner is going to have to remember how to hit threes, and then Paulo is going to have to make another jump. My son, Huevos Rancheros, is going to have to make a big jump there. Interesting stream. We're going to go for another few minutes. Bro is spamming emotes. Who? Oh, my God. I'm so tired. I'm not making another video after this, Matt. We're not doing a Jets Digest video tonight. We got two. That's good enough. You can make a solo. Look, guys. I really do think the Knicks are going to have the best season they've had in a long time. Make a video specifically about you. Mournful Nets fan, what do you think that YouTube Reels was of me hating on Cam Thomas? Who do you think? What do you think that was really? I had you in mind. It wasn't just because of you. I needed to make some kind of content on vacation, but like, I was thinking of you and I did that shit. And I cursed again. There we go. That's not great. Tatum, after the finals. Oh, yeah. Jason Tatum was really just emoting like crazy. It was very strange. I'm not a fan of the Celtics one bit, not just because I'm a New Yorker. It's just the fact that I think they're overrated. I think they're a great team, don't get me wrong, but I don't think they're going to repeat. I think they're going to have some problems. Bam wins DPOY. I could totally see it. I didn't make it just for you, Mournful Nets fan. It's also just because it was some sort of content that I felt like would be good on like short form content, like a good reel, a good TikTok. But I definitely was like, oh, I know you'll respond to this. I know it'll upset you. And believe me, it did bring me some joy to do that. Because you comment on all my stuff. So that it was not made for you, but it was made with... I knew what I was doing. I knew I was opening up a can of worms when doing that. I just don't think Cam Thomas is as good as Nets fans do. And maybe I'm wrong, and that's fair. He's not bad. He's a good scorer. He really is a good scorer. He's just an awful defender, a bad passer, doesn't feel like a team player. I had to do this year before we got Brunson. Nobody would believe me about Brunson coming here, and then we had Quickly nonsense. Everyone OB and Quickly got not second contracts. Is it over the pursuit of Matthias Lasor? Great question. Yes. The Matthias Lasor thing has ended because here's the deal. He wanted that full mid-level exception from the Knicks. The Knicks had $6 million they could have given him. He wanted all $6 million because to get out of his contract overseas, he would have probably had to go through the buyout route, which would have means he would have lost $2 million. So if he just signed a $3 million deal with the Knicks, all the moving, all the buying a house, all that stuff, he wouldn't have made any money on the season going to the Knicks anyway. So they decided I don't think Cam Thomas is going to be a first All-Star. There's too many good guards in the East. They decided essentially, hey, like Matthias' camp, like, okay, it doesn't even make sense to go to the Knicks in this case unless you're giving us the whole $5-6 million. And the Knicks were like, we're not giving that to you. It gives us some cap space troubles. We can't do that. So the Matthias Lasor thing, yes, is in fact over. Bam most likely moving to power forward. I do not think he is. I think Khalil Ware will play more. Like, Bam will guard the centers even if Ware's out there, at least for year one, because Ware's got more spacing and just younger, and they don't want to have him up against centers who are bigger bodies. But I am interested to seeing Bam and Khalil Ware play together. I mean, great pick by the Heat. I was real bummed out. I really wanted the Knicks to go for Khalil Ware, and they didn't get him. So that was obviously upsetting. Very yawn. But yeah, I just think the Knicks were weird that with this season. I don't hate Cam Thomas. I think he's a fine offensive player. He's a great scorer. He just doesn't add much more. It just gives me Lou Williams vibes, and Lou Williams had an excellent NBA career. Like, I'm not hating. I'm just saying I think he's overrated. I don't see it. I don't think that type of player works out. My son's saying, Matt, he's literally texting, I missed the live stream again. I had to text him back. Okay, thanks. Plus, Matthias is sick. Yeah, like, that's the problem, is Matthias is like, you're really banking on him to be this interior Kenneth Faried scorer.
And he's never had any experience at the NBA level. Like, I don't know. I don't think
Lasor would have worked out as well as people wanted him to work out in theory. I think they should have given more of a chance to Demetros Kapinstev before trading him off to the Red Claws, essentially, because he's not going to make the Celtics roster. But it is what it is. I'm going to do a full video breaking the whole thing down, why that was a massive mistake by the Knicks. Can't wait to do that video. I love talking about that type of stuff, the lesser-known stuff. The Knicks are going to go out and get another center, though, at some point, whether it's in the trade deadline, whether it's in the buyout market, whether it's they go into free agency and bring in JaVale McGee or Bismack Biyombo, as someone mentioned earlier. I think they will go out there and bring in another center. It's more of a question of who they can get, who's available, what they could do, how much that player will cost, what the other implications would be, all that type of stuff. I think that would be really important to see first.
Guys, I'm starving. I might have to end this soon. I need to go eat something. But yeah, no, I definitely think that Biyombo, no! I don't think it's going to be Bismarck, North Dakota either, personally. 3-point specialist. Oh my goodness! As that announcer said, the same one who had Jordan Clarkson fall in his lap, and he had a very interesting thing to say about that. Matt, you can text that in the chat because I'm not allowed to say that on live. I'm not doing my best Batman impression. I've never watched a Batman movie. I don't know what Batman sounds like. Do ASMR.
All right, guys, I'll talk. No, I'm not. I'm not. Absolutely not doing that whatsoever. I'm just not doing that. Why are my AirPods on? What the heck? Guys, some wild stuff is going down right now. This is the most interesting live stream that I've ever done by far, in the sense that this is just so strange, but I love it. I feel like we're making good friends here today, guys. I mean, Mournful Nets fan, back in the chat, back in the groove of things. Mournful, how you been? Yeah, that was it. That's what what's-his-face said. Mournful Nets fan, how did you find my channel, and why do you watch? I'm not trying to hate. I like that you're here. I like talking to you. I'm just curious. How did this occur? Also, guys, here's the good thing about Precious Achiuwa. Let me just mention something about the dude Precious real quick. Like, in case you guys didn't know, Precious is the next Giannis, and he's better than Bam. So that's the good news about the Knicks having Precious. And I just had to throw some Precious propaganda out there. Mournful Nets fan, I'm not going to lie to you. You did make this live stream interesting. I usually try to not let you hijack my live streams because you just want to talk about, like, the trolling stuff and all that, and I don't mind it. It's more just like, look, dude, I'm trying to talk about the Knicks sometimes on Knicks live streams, so people come back and view the channel, and I make money. But also, once in a while, we just got to mess around, and I've actually had a really long day and a lot of YouTubing stuff going on between these channels, so I don't mind to kick back at all right now. Next time we're around on this, we're not going to be doing this. We'll probably talk more seriously. Unless this is just what live streams are becoming on Knicks Digest. There's a world where it just becomes chaos anyway. I kind of want the channel to become chaos in a good way. Like, There's other Knicks channels that do what we do, except they're way more buttoned up than me, and I don't want to get buttoned up. I think it makes it for less of a casual conversation between friends vibe, which is what I'm going for. I'm not trying to, like, inform you like I'm Alan Hahn or Bill Pito on MSG. I'm not trying to sit around and be Mike Greenberg. No, I want to have an interesting conversation about basketball. I just want to talk sports, man. I just want to talk sports. But right now, it's fine. It's been a lot. Mikhail made you come here. Nice. Part of me wants to ask what your actual thoughts on the Mikhail trade. Who's your favorite player of all time? No Knicks bias here. Well, my favorite player of all time is a Knick. It's Carmelo. Melo's the one who got me into basketball. Nick Yak, you're thinking of Zach Edey, someone who at first was on the he was on the Knicks radar, but then he obviously got drafted. Like, he just climbed draft boards from the combine and pre-draft workouts because they're like, oh, wait, he's 7'4" and can actually fit in the NBA. Never mind. He's going in the lottery, which is what happened, why we didn't get him. We actually made a few videos on him. That's fair. My favorite player of all time is Carmelo Anthony because he's the one who got me into basketball. I started watching basketball when he got traded to the Knicks, and from there, I just really, really pushed forwards with, like, okay, this is my guy. He's one of the best players in basketball. I want to watch him play. This is so cool. The Knicks have one of the best players in the NBA for the first time in my life. And I was like 11. And I was like, this is hype. And then obviously it didn't go too well. But it's not Melo's fault. I think it's just fully on Phil Jackson. My favorite Knick is not Usman because Kamaru Usman is a UFC fighter. He is not a New York Knick, Matt. And you host a sports show. So get Boban. Boban actually signed overseas. He's out of the NBA. He left. He's 7'5" and 36 years old, and his legs don't work, so he's going to go play overseas. And good for Boban. I'm happy for the man. Everyone likes Boban. Dude's hilarious. He's in movies now, doing his thing, being the man. Everyone loves him. Good for Boban. All right, time crunch. We're ending this at 7:15. His favorite Knick of all time is obviously Kevin Knox. I knew Knox was going to suck. I really did. I hated the pick from minute one. Thought it was terrible. Wanted Mikhail. Wanted Michael Porter Jr., wanted one of those two, and, well, the Knicks went with Kevin Knox, which was just an absolute disgrace of a draft pick, which shows by the fact that he's out of the NBA. He was 8th overall. Back-to-back years, Ntilikina and Kevin Knox? Come on, guys. Like, that was a rough time to be a Knicks fan, dude. That was a rough time. We were saying Damian Dotson was our shooting guard of the future. That's where we were at. I'm not even kidding. That's where we were as a fan base. I do miss J.R. Smith. I'm a massive J.R. Smith fan, dude. Like, love J.R. I'm so happy he got to get on the Lakers and win a second championship for no reason. That was the coolest thing ever. Like the idea of Garland on the Nets. His game seems Brooklyn, and Cameron Johnson is originally from Pittsburgh, Cleveland area. Cam Johnson, sorry. I do like the idea of Darius Garland on the Nets also. I think it'd be a nice lower risk, high reward player. I think it's one of those things, though, with that new contract extension. Garland's not going anywhere. That Cavs team is built horribly. I don't think they're good at all. I don't think they're going to make it out of the first round. I think Donovan is tremendous. I think Garland is good at what he's good at. I think that both Mobley and Jared Allen are just too similar for that team to work. I think the Cavs are really, really in a bad position, and people don't realize it yet, but they will. Garland or Brunson, obviously Jalen Brunson. He's just far better. Anyone who disagrees is absolutely nuts at this point. I guess that was kind of a debate going into the playoffs in 2023, even though everyone kind of was like, it's Brunson. But it was really like Donovan's better than Brunson, and Brunson proved that one to be wrong. But shout out Donovan Mitchell, New York dude. Gotta love him. That was a rough period to be a Knicks fan, Darlene. That was rough. I did not like that thing one bit. Just year after year, draft bust after draft bust. And then RJ was solid, but he just did not get to go to a good franchise, and it hurt him a lot. And their best player was way too similar to RJ, and everything that could have went wrong for RJ's tenure as a Knick went wrong. I still think that he's going to be a multi-time All-Star in his career. I think he fits so well with the Raptors. I'm so excited for his growth. I'll be rooting for RJ for sure. Someone who I'm always a big fan of. I do have his jersey hanging up in my bedroom still, which is obviously where I film these videos. Got the John Starks, got the Walt Frazier, got the Bernard King, got a LeBron jersey, and then Derrick Rose and RJ Barrett are up in here. Got some nice jerseys hanging around. Got the Melo one. I'm gonna have to throw a Jets one up or two because I got a Jets jersey now, so we got that going for us. But guys, I'm absolutely way too tired to keep going with this. I've been talking for an hour and 15 straight, and me and Matt Long in the chat did a Jets video right before that. So guys, thank you so much for tuning into this next live stream. Weirdest one we've ever done. Not even saying that negatively. Guys, y'all know what it is. Subscribe, like,